Welcome back. June 1st, National Hazelnut Cake Day. We're baking again. It's another cake. Now I know when you say hazelnut, most people immediately go to Nutella, especially with a cake, thinking it's going to be a Nutella chocolate cake today. Well, it's not. Why? Because I am not a huge fan of Nutella. I don't hate it, but I'm one of those minority that just could take it or leave it, okay? So today we're going to try something a little bit different. I'm wearing this color on purpose because we're going to make an orange hazelnut cake. And of course, a little bit of booze in it, because a little bit of booze makes everything better. So it's going to have this great Grand Marnier glaze that we're going to put over it. It's a bundt cake, hazelnuts, looks pretty good, never tried it. Going to see how we do with this one today, and sounds like a great brunch. Like pound cakey kind of bundt cake thing that you could serve for brunch would be really good, especially with that orange kick to it. Alrighty, so I got all my big gadgets out today because it's going to be a big gadget kind of day. Alrighty, here's what you need to make the cake part of it, and then I'll show you later what you need to make the glaze. Okay, for our cake part of our cake today, we need 1 large orange, 2 cups of chopped hazelnuts, a half a cup of hazelnut oil or syrup, a cup of white granulated sugar, 4 large eggs, 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Let's get started today. Now this part's a little weird, I don't know, but that's what it said to do. Pot of water here. We're going to start this pot of water boiling, and we're going to take our orange and we're going to put it in there. You want to make sure that there's enough water in there that it floats. See, it's floating around. You don't want it in a small pot sitting right on the bottom. Okay, so as you can see, it's moving around. Alrighty, we're going to boil that for about 15 minutes, the whole orange. In the meantime, let's get started on the rest of our batter here. So then with our food processor, take your chopped hazelnuts. They're chopped already, that's how I bought them. Now you can also substitute 2 cups of hazelnut flour or meal if you can find it in the bag. They did have it at the store. The only problem is that it's $4 more than the 2 cups chopped. So I'd rather just chop it myself and save $4, okay? If you can find it on sale, great. If not, so I'm going to put these in my food processor because I want them more finely ground. I don't want such big chunks of the hazelnut. So you want to chop it out. It's like a meat, you know, a chunky meal or chunky flour. You don't just put it in there and run your food processor and leave the thing running. You kind of got to pulse it, because if you just sat there and left it running, it would probably turn it into a butter. It would get that liquefied, and you don't really want to do that. See, you just want like this floury kind of, but chunky. You want these tiny little pieces of the hazelnut, okay? So we got that ready now. On to the next step. And then switch tools. Don't put that away yet, because you're still going to need that food processor. So just move it back, put your ground up nuts off to the side. Take your bowl. You're going to take your cup of sugar and your hazelnut oil. Now I wasn't going to go try and find in some gourmet store hazelnut oil. So I'm using Torani syrup. It's in the coffee aisle. They make like vanilla and hazelnut and stuff to flavor your coffee. So that's what I'm using today. It seems like it's going to be the same consistency. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just whip this with my sugar beater attachment to really get it mixed together, okay? Okay, and then once that's all mixed together, your sugar and hazelnut syrup, you're going to add your eggs one at a time, adding each one as it's incorporated, okay? Okay, and then next to our mixture here, we're going to add our baking powder, our salt, and our flour, okay? Okay, and then finally to that, once that's all incorporated, your almonds, or your hazelnuts, sorry, it's hazelnut day. Your chopped hazelnuts, okay? Or your hazelnut flour, like I said, if you wanted to use that instead. Okay, back to the weird boiling of the orange part. You're going to take a half a cup of this liquid that the orange was boiling in, okay, and you're going to save that because we're going to use that for our glaze part later, okay? Now you're going to take this boiled orange. It's weird, I know, it's a weird thing. You're just going to make sure there's no seeds. You want to quarter this. Oh, the seeds are on this side, okay. Sorry. Ow, it's hot. A hot orange, okay. It smells really good. You're going to quarter this. Okay, let me do that first. Probably be easier. Okay, you're going to quarter this, and then if there's any seeds, you're going to take out any seeds, which I don't see any at all. So either I'm not seeing them or they're somewhere. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to cut off these little stem ends and stuff too. Okay, so you're going to quarter that, and into your food processor, skin and all this whole thing, and puree it. Now, I thought it would make it bitter because isn't that what happens with like the white part, the pith of the citrus fruit, that it makes it bitter? I don't know. That's what it said to do, so that's what we're gonna do. All right. So just food process this till it's a puree, smooth puree, and that's it. So now you take this hot orange. I guess you should let it cool down. I don't know. It didn't say you had to let it cool down, so I just wanted to get it going because I got my batter ready here. You're going to add this to this batter, okay? Oh, by the way, you can turn your oven on 350. Start preheating that, okay? And that's it. We're done. There's our batter. Okay? We're just going to put this into our very well greased bundt pan, okay? Because we don't want it to stick at all. Now I hope this thing bakes up pretty big because it's not really a lot of batter, especially for this bundt pan. So I'm hoping it's going to rise pretty good. I mean, you saw there was a 3/4 cup of flour. I mean, there was really nothing as far as flour. So I guess that makes it a little bit healthier that you don't have so much flour in it, and you got, you know, some healthy, good for you nuts and some oranges. So there is our bundt pan with our batter ready to go into our 350 oven, about 35-40 minutes. Remember, as always, we're baking. Keep your eye on it. Toothpick in, comes out clean, good to go. Alrighty, can't wait to try this one. This one sounds really interesting, and it smells already amazing. Between the hazelnut and the orange, it's just such a really, you know, powerful smelling batter already. I can imagine what the cake is going to taste like. Alrighty, see you in a little while when this one comes out. Okay, for our glazing syrup today, you need 1 to 2 oranges, a half a cup of the reserved cooking water that you boiled the orange in, a cup of white granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a tablespoon of Grand Marnier. Okay, so let's make our glaze. I said 1 to 2 oranges because you have to get the zest of one of them, but then you need a half a cup of fresh squeezed orange juice. So I didn't know if you'd get enough of it out of one big orange, so I guess it depends on the size of your oranges. That's our reserved water from the orange that we boiled in the beginning. Okay, we're going to put that in there with our orange juice, fresh squeezed orange juice, half a cup, our sugar, and our vanilla, and our zest of 1 lemon. Okay, so you're going to put all of this into a pot and bring it to a boil, simmer it down. You want to get it to a syrupy, like a honey consistency. That's what you want to do. Okay, don't add your booze to it yet. That comes after. Alrighty, so let's stir this, boil it down, and we'll be right back. Okay, and then once you get it cooked down, it takes a while, so be patient because you want to do it on a simmer. You don't want to do it, you get it to a boil, but then turn it down to a simmer. And then you get this nice syrupy liquid, which we're now going to stir our Grand Marnier into. Okay. Wow, that smells so good. It just kicked back that whole Grand Marnier smell from the heat. Alrighty. And that's it. There's your syrup. We're just going to, it says to brush it on, but I don't know. I think that'll take a little too long. I think we might just drizzle it and brush at the same time. How's that? I don't know if this is too much glaze or not. Can there be such a thing? I don't know. It'll definitely soak into the cake, that's for sure. Alrighty, so that's it. And then we're just going to let this one sit and really just all come together for a little while. Cool down completely. And then we're going to come back later on after dinner and we're going to try this one, okay? See you in a little bit, everybody. Alrighty, there she is. She's been sitting for a while. It's got a really sugary coat on the outside. Now what I found was when I drizzled that stuff when it was still very liquidy and fresh, it was syrupy but not real syrupy. If you let that stuff sit for like a half hour or so and cool down, it gets like really syrupy honey like. Okay, so that's what I had left some in the pot. I didn't pour it all over the top of our cake, and I poured it after I saw that it sat for a while, and it got really syrupy. See, it's like, if I can show you, see, it's actually like honey. It's really, really thick. Alright, so let's try this hazelnut cake with this syrupy orange hazelnut cake, okay? Oh, wow. That is so good. It's the cake itself is grainy from the hazelnuts, like it's chunky. You know what I mean, grainy, like I don't know, like grain. But this syrupy honey like outside is so good. It sweetens it perfectly because the inside is not really sweet. Let me see. Yeah. Tastes like very hazelnutty. But it's not real sweet. Even though we put that orange puree and everything else, like, into the cake batter part. But this outside, and then with the Grand Marnier in it, oh, this one's a keeper, people. I'm really digging this. Maybe if we poured some Grand Marnier and lit it on fire and flambéed it, it'd be even better. But this is actually really good. I'm really going to enjoy this one. Alright, everybody. Hazelnut cake. You don't have to do Nutella just because it's hazelnut. If you like Nutella, go for it. But this is definitely one to try. If you like hazelnuts and you like orange and you like Grand Marnier, this one's got an awesome flavor to it. Alright? See you tomorrow, everybody.